Вітаю, колеги.
Colleagues, my name is Natalia Staropramo, working at Mediacentru Ukraine. This is the 9th year of Ukraine's struggle for its dignity and freedom, and the 9th month of Russia's full-scale invasion. Ukraine marks today, on November 21st, the Day of Dignity and Freedom. I would like to give the floor to Iryna Shvaiko, project coordinator at the Lviv Regional Military Administration, to tell us about how Lviv will mark the day. Hello, we mark the Day of Dignity and Freedom today in conditions of a full-scale war. This day, of course, was instituted in 2014, and we've always marked it. We have never not marked it in conditions of war. Today we will commemorate the heroes of the Heavenly Hundred, Heavenly Company, buried in the Lyshakiv Cemetery. Those of them who are buried in the Lyshakiv Cemetery, we will set flowers, and there will be an ecumenical memorial service to all those who died in the Maidan, in the Revolution of Dignity. After this, at 4:30, by the Shevchenko Monument, we will hold there will be an artistic performance called a reminiscence of the Maidan, which will be a recollection of how things developed on the Maidan. We will sing songs that became symbols of the Maidan, and songs that have now become symbols of Ukraine's current war with the aggressor. If you recall, the first anniversary when the Revolution of Dignity was marked in Lviv. Do you remember how it happened? Could you tell us about it? I think the first anniversary in the evening, the students of the Lviv schools came to the Shevchenko Monument, commemorating the events. Everybody at that point had been participants in those events, and they sang the anthem, and we also recollected those who had died in the Maidan. We know that among the heroes of the Heavenly Company, there were also residents of the Lviv region. How many such people were there? Yes, unfortunately, 21 people from the Lviv region died in the Maidan. 4 of them are buried in the Lyshakiv cemetery, and today we will be commemorating the memory of all those who died in the Maidan. Why is this event particularly important for Lviv? What does it mean for the city? The event is important not only for Lviv, it is important for all Ukrainians, for all of us, as Lviv was one of the first towns from which the revolution started. The students emerged into the streets and eventually went to Kyiv. Yes, we know that Lviv was one of the one of the earliest towns that started these days of revolution, that started talking about what is happening in the Maidan. Could you tell us how this happened? Who particularly joined, and why Lviv turned out to be one of the first towns to start this wave? I mean, the Lviv region, Western Ukraine, have always been at the forefront of the struggle for Ukraine's independence. So it's par for the course. It would have been hard to imagine for young people in Lviv not to come out, not to go to the Maidan, because they knew what they wanted and they were fighting for their future. They wanted to be a European country, live in a European country, develop. In the Maidan, they were fighting for freedom, for independence, for those values for which the heroes of the Heavenly Company fought and eventually died. Colleagues, if you have any questions, please raise your hand. If there are no questions, at a time when the enemy is hitting our critical infrastructure, when there are risks of power cuts and other risks, will there be any limitations? What alternatives might we have to deal with during these events in Lviv? Well, the first thing that we might have to contend with is there might be an air raid. there might be nationally or regionally. Of course, we will stop events, and the hosts will inform of our future, of our subsequent steps. We hope that today will be a quiet day, and that we'll be able to observe our commemoration without air raids and without risks to life. Today, on this day of commemorating the Revolution of Dignity, how is today's commemoration different from previous years? Why is this year particular? How is it different from other years? Well, this year matters particularly primarily in order to show that we remain unbroken. We cannot be cowed, and we will always remember who we are and what we're fighting for now. Our struggle started in 2014. And it continues. It's now in its 9th year. The enemy will not break us, and today's set of events are simply another way to demonstrate that we will not be cowed by attacks, by strikes. We will survive. We survived then, and we will win in this war as well. We know, unfortunately, that some of the cities and towns of Ukraine cannot join this event because some of them are in occupied territories. What is the message this year, and do you know anything? What, if any, how, if in any way, will other towns mark this occasion? Every town takes such steps as are possible to take, depending on their security situation in their respective regions, in their respective towns. For occupied territories, obviously, our events are a message of remembrance. We remember you. We will never forget you. We're fighting for you. We will bring you back. We will come back. We will bring you back. Ukraine will be a whole and sovereign. Ukraine will win. What is your message to all the residents of Lviv, the residents of the region? What do you call people to do today? I would like to encourage everyone to remember those thanks to whom we can today mark the day, particularly our military who are defending us, and also the heroes of the Heavenly Hundred, the Heavenly Company who died in the Maidan, to remember them so that their sacrifice is not in vain. We know that the Day of Dignity is marked not only on the 21st of November, but also there are sometimes events on the 20th. Yes, there were some events. The Oblast, the Ukrainian scouting organization, held a Vatra, a meeting commemorating the events and how things started, because these are young people, these are students who had been immediate participants and eyewitnesses of these events. So they were remembering the events of those days in Lviv all those years ago. Thank you. With us was Iryna Shvaiko, Director of Projects at the Lviv Regional Military Administration. Let us remember the heroes of the Heavenly Hundred and the fallen in the war and those who are defending us today. Thank you. Please stay with us. See you.